A poor little bird lived in a big tree. Every day she would look out to the world beyond and wish she could explore the entire universe. But no matter how much she wished, she knew she was too afraid to leave her tree. One day while she was looking outside, she noticed a family of birds preparing to migrate south for the winter. Watching them fly away together made her sad. More stories meant more weight, and slowly it began affecting her wings. Her flight became slower and soon she couldn't fly high like she used to. But the bird didn't notice. She just kept collecting more stones. She couldn't sleep at night or eat during the day. She was always crying and thinking about him. She said, "My dear granddaughter, why are you still so sad? I told you to move on with your life and stop thinking about your ex-boyfriend." She is unable to let go of her ex-boyfriend, and she is constantly thinking about him. We have to learn when to let go and when to welcome the new, just like the young woman who learned to move on and live her life to the fullest. So whenever you find yourself stuck in the past, remember to take a deep breath, let go and move on, because life is too short to be anything but happy. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. This is causing her a lot of pain, and it is making her life miserable. However, when she finally decides to let go of the past and move on with her life, she becomes happy and successful. The moral of this story is that we should learn to let go of the past. Dwelling on the past will only cause us pain and suffering. We have to accept the reality of the situation and move on. By doing this, we will be able to live a happy and fulfilling life. The young woman replied, "I'm sorry, grandmother, but I still can't stop thinking about him. I love him so much and I miss him." Her grandmother sat down next to her and said, "My dear, you have to accept the reality of the situation. Your boyfriend doesn't love you anymore and there is nothing you can do about it. You have to move on with your life." The young woman said, "But how can I move on? I still love him so much." Her grandmother said, "You have to stop thinking about him if you want to move on. Thinking about him will only make you feel worse. You have to focus on yourself and your own happiness." The young woman didn't listen to her grandmother's advice and she continued to think about her ex-boyfriend. She couldn't sleep at night or eat during the day. She was always crying and thinking about him. One day her grandmother came to visit her and she said, "My dear granddaughter, why are you so sad? What has happened?" She said, "My dear granddaughter, why are you still so sad? I told you to move on with your life and stop thinking about your ex-boyfriend." The young woman finally listened to her grandmother's advice. She stopped thinking about her ex-boyfriend and started focusing on herself and her own happiness. She started going out with her friends again and she started enjoying her life. She also started working on her hobbies and she started pursuing her dreams. After a few months, the young woman was a completely different person. She was happy, confident, and successful. She realized that her grandmother was right. Letting go of her ex-boyfriend was the best thing she could have done for herself. The young woman replied, "I miss my boyfriend so much. He broke up with me 2 months ago and I still can't get over him. I keep thinking about him all the time and I can't stop crying." Her grandmother sat down next to her and said, "You know, my dear, we have to accept the reality of the situation. Your boyfriend doesn't love you anymore and there is nothing you can do about it. You have to move on with your life." The young woman said, "But how can I move on? I still love him so much." Her grandmother said, "You have to stop thinking about him if you want to move on. Thinking about him will only make you feel worse. You have to focus on yourself and your own happiness." The young woman didn't listen to her grandmother's advice, and she continued to think about her ex-boyfriend. She couldn't sleep at night or eat during the day. She was always crying and thinking about him. One day she met an old wise owl. The owl asked, "Why do you carry that bag, little one?" The bird smiled. "It holds my life, every joy, every pain, every lesson." The owl frowned. "But do you still live in today or are you flying with yesterday on your back?" The bird didn't understand. She flew away, but even that flight was heavier than ever before. Weeks passed. Her bag was now full, overflowing. She struggled to lift off the ground. Her wings ached. She had no energy left, and one rainy evening, while trying to fly to safety, she fell. The weight of the stones crushed her delicate body. She lay there under the very memories she thought would help her survive. Now the same memories had taken her life. That night the owl visited her again. Looking at the small bird lying still, he whispered sadly, "Memories are meant to guide, not to hold you back." All she wanted was to travel the world, but she was too scared to leave home alone. But we have to learn when to let go of the past and when to welcome the new. Sometimes we don't let go of the past because we feel guilty about it. We think we haven't done enough or we could have done better. But we have to remember that we are human. We will make mistakes and sometimes we will fail, but we can't dwell on our failures. We have to accept them and learn from them. And if we can't let go of the past, we won't be able to enjoy the present. Life is a gift from God. We should cherish every moment of it. If we keep thinking about the past, we'll become tired inside. We won't be able to enjoy today or fly toward our future. Suddenly, her gaze landed on a feather lying on the branch beside her. An idea popped into her head. Picking up the feather, she decided to use it to help her overcome her fear. As the days went by, she took this feather everywhere. She slept with it under her wing, played with it during the day, and talked to it like it was her best friend. And somehow just having the feather nearby gave her courage to take small steps out of her nest. Whenever she got scared, she would huddle near the feather and calm herself down. Slowly, she gained enough confidence to start exploring the world. Now, just like her friends who had migrated south, the time had come for her to take her first trip. Taking a deep breath, she flapped her wings and left the only home she had ever known. Just after a few minutes, she realized that she had made the right choice because even though the world was scary, it was also beautiful. As she flew over valleys, mountains and rivers, she experienced feelings she had never known before. Flying became her passion and traveling the world turned into her addiction. She roamed around the entire planet and collected lots of beautiful feathers from different places. When she returned to her nest, she found that the feather she took with her was lost somewhere. Feeling sad, she looked at all those beautiful feathers she had collected and an idea struck her. Every day she would write down her experiences on a small stone, whether it was something happy or painful. She believed every moment was worth remembering. She thought good memories keep us smiling, and bad ones shouldn't stay in the heart. They should be written down and let go. So every day she picked up a new stone, and wrote her thoughts on it with her beak and put it into a tiny cloth bag. She carried with her wherever she flew at first. It felt beautiful. She enjoyed collecting her memories, believing they would help her in the future. That little bag became her treasure full of moments from her life. But as the days passed, her bag started getting heavier. Sometimes we all collect memories, good and bad, and keep thinking about them. There was once a young woman who couldn't stop thinking about her ex-boyfriend. One day the young woman's grandmother came to visit her again. In this story, the young woman is someone who is stuck in the past. So remember, just like the bird who carried the weight of her memories, we too can become burdened by our past.